All right, check 1, 2, just making sure you can see me and hear me okay. Go ahead and throw a hello in the chat so I can see where you're from, YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is you are. And welcome to a Monday Guitar Motivation. Let me know if you can see me, hear my voice, hear my guitar. Hey Ryan, hey Michael, my Logify. Hello from Turkey, that's awesome. All right, good, everybody can see me, hear me, that's awesome. Hey Ryan, thank you very much. All right, AC is here, Tim is here, very nice. Just saying hello to a few of you before we get started here. Let's see, Moses is here, John is here, Jeffrey is here, Dennis is here, Mike Curran from Boston is here, and what is this here? Annette is here. Jasminder is here. Hello, Peter is here. Thank you so much. We already have a whole bunch of people here. This is great. So thank you very much for hanging out. This is, again, a Motivational Guitar Monday. We're going to be talking about some soloing things today to give you some ideas of some stuff. Mark is here. Len is here. Alan is here. Zoha is here. Austin is here. Hey, Austin. I know Austin. James is here. Alan is here from Scotland. Very nice. Ronald is here. Yeah, remember to hit like, Tim says. Thank you. Yes. Like, share, subscribe, whatever you can do would be great. Okay, Jerome is here. Very nice. I'm doing good, Jerome. I hope you are good as well. Gary is here. Let's see here. Nicaragua. Wow, that's cool. Len is from Nicaragua. So we have all kinds of people. We already have a couple hundred people on here. So I don't want to waste your time. Let's go ahead and get started. What I want to do today is, and I might make a series out of this so they don't get too long and too complicating, but I want to show you some ideas of things that you can do to solo over chord changes. And keep it fairly straightforward. Now, I will say that in order for this conversation to make sense to you, you're going to need to make sure that you have some understanding of bar chords, and some understanding of pentatonic. Now, you can elevate from there, and I will get into that a little bit. You can elevate into diatonics and modes and different things like that as much as you want to, but to keep this conversation fairly simple, I'd rather talk about it from a pentatonic standpoint and then just show you how you can elevate that, and we'll go from there, okay? John is here. Hello, John. David is here. Casper is here. Very cool. Just running through the list. This is great. Thank you so much for everybody for hanging out with me. So what we're going to do is let's just start off by talking about the pentatonic scale itself. And again, if there's anything I talk about and you go, well, I don't really understand that, or I don't see that, or what I want you to remember is maybe that's something that you should write down and come back to and maybe learn a little bit more about. Now, if you're just learning how to play some basic chords or something like that, this might not be the conversation for you. Maybe it will, I don't know. But remember, the most important thing is that you take what I talk about and you try and convert it into something that makes sense in your world. So, I don't want to talk way too high, but yet I want to make sure that what I am saying is something that can be converted in any way you want. So let's take the first position of pentatonic. Let me switch camera angles here. I'm going to be in E for this example, and then again, I'll expand as we keep going. But if I started off with my pinky on E here at the 12th fret, and I played 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9, 12. Okay, I'm playing the pentatonic E major. Okay, now the nice thing about that is you can move that anywhere you want. If you wanted to be an A, you would simply take this entire thing, move down to A, and play the same thing. So you'd have 5, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5. Or if you wanted to be in C, you'd go to the 8th fret. Okay, so that's our pentatonic. Penta meaning 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it repeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, and then I run out of strings right there. Now, we can learn to play the pentatonic across the entire fretboard, and eventually I would strongly recommend that you do that if you haven't already done that. because everything that we're going to talk about is usable anywhere on the fretboard. But I'm just trying to find something that's fairly easy for everybody to sort of grasp on. So if I take that E major right there at the 12th fret, what I want to be aware of is surrounding that position are two E major bar chords. Okay? So if I play that 12, 9, 12, 11 thing, this thing here that I just played, if I look right here at the 7th fret of the 5th string, I've got a 5th string bar chord E major sitting right here. So what I want to see, if you've never done this before, I want to see the connection between the pentatonic that I'm playing here and the E major that's sitting right here. And what you'll immediately be able to see are these 9s here that I'm pressing out with my 3rd finger. They are part of this chord, and they're also part of the scale. Right there. So they overlap each other. So when you're playing this pentatonic, now, I could go back to the 12 here, but oftentimes what I like to do is take that 12th fret, which is E, and I'll move it back on this 5th string right here. So I'm going to play from 7, 9, 11. Okay, so what you can see there is I'm simply trying to connect those two shapes together, the pentatonic major and then the E major bar chord, 5th string bar chord. Now what I do with it is entirely up to me, and again, this is where the conversation can get a little bit deeper if we're looking at, you know, a bar chord, or excuse me, a diatonic scale or a mode or something like that. But let's not go there just yet. Let's keep building. So I'm going to go back out here again to this. And I've got my 5th string bar chord sitting right here. I've got my E major pentatonic sitting right here. Well, I also have an E major 6th string bar chord sitting here at the 12th fret. So it's E, 1 octave higher right here. Okay? So I can also see some overlap between what's happening here and here. Now, there's not a lot of overlap because it's just a little bit too far out, but there is a little bit of overlap. There's this note right here, and there's these two notes right here. Okay? But if I think about it, and again, it's okay if you don't know this, but if you know more positions of your pentatonic, you have another position of pentatonic sitting right here at the 12th fret, which is 12, 14, 11, 14, 11, 14, 11, 13. And don't worry if you don't know it right now. You can always watch this again or learn this from, you know, one of my guitar courses or whatever you want. And that is sitting literally right over the top of this E major bar chord. So the point is that all of a sudden you get a chord that you need to solo over, and you're looking for something to do. Maybe you don't know what key it's in exactly, because maybe it's in a mode, or you're not sure exactly what scale you should be using or something like that. And again, all of that stuff is important to study for sure. But maybe you're in a situation where you just need something right away. And so what we could do is we could take this E chord, or this E chord, and we could start looking at ways of being able to do some simple soloing using that pentatonic that kind of merges these two scales together, these two chords, excuse me. See, it's kind of like a thread in between, or a membrane in between those two bar chords. Now, as you get better at this, of course, you can start learning to do more chords in different places or more pentatonics in different places. There's lots of things that you could do. But if I just keep to this for now and know that if I find a 5th string bar chord, if I just work off the right-hand side of that, because right off the right-hand side of that is my major pentatonic, okay? And if I was in E major as a 6-string bar chord, I know I could work off the left-hand side and play that exact same thing. Unless I know more of my pentatonic shapes, then of course I could play right over the top. You know, whatever I want. But again, I don't want to get way too complicating. I want to keep this nice and basic. So let's say we were doing something where we're going from E, which we just talked about, and then the song goes to D. Okay, well, if we keep that same idea, I've got D sitting here as a 5th-string bar chord. I've got D sitting here as a 6th-string bar chord. And in between is that pentatonic major, sort of membrane, if you will, that's sitting right there. You see? So now you could be thinking, well, E comes up, D comes up, and you do something over that D. You see? Now maybe A pops up. Now this one's a little bit harder, but let's look at this. So we have A sitting here on the 6th string, and we have A sitting down here, which is technically an open chord, but it's the 5th-string bar chord. So in between that, there would be that membrane. Now that's not really in the same position that we're in right now, so we'd actually have to shift, but at least it would give you an availability of being able to do something, right? So if you were playing over E, you see? So that's kind of a nice, easy way of being able to find, if you can find a 6-string bar chord or a 5th-string bar chord, which is what most people learn first after they've done some of their open chords, you can find this pentatonic scale. Now, the truth is, the more positions you can see of chords, and the more positions you can see of the scale, whatever scale it is that you're learning, the more options you have, right? So don't get weirded out if you're already having a hard time following along. But if I could see E in different places, like let's say I saw E sitting right here as a caged chord, if you know what those are, right? So I still have... I have things down here I could do to move me from here into here, and then down into my E down here. So there's lots of ways that you can move, or maybe you you know some diatonic stuff, right? So instead of just playing pentatonic, you start adding in your major 7th, because around this pentatonic you can see the notes of your diatonic, right? Maybe that's what you know. Or maybe you're playing a mode, so you're looking at Mixolydian with a flatted 7. You know, whatever it might be, you can expand these, but you can still expand on the idea of visualizing these chords and then finding that pentatonic membrane in between those chords and then expanding that however you want, right? And again, let's just take square one here. If you're just learning how to play pentatonic, for instance, just do what I'm doing. If you've already done a little bit of this, you might start exploring some other positions of pentatonics or some other positions of these scales, these chords, excuse me, around the fretboard, and seeing the relationship. Because that's the most important thing. Like if I see this E major bar chord sitting here, again, doing exactly what I just showed you, I can come up here, do whatever it is I want to do. But I can do stuff over the top of this. And if, again, I know my diatonic stuff, I can do more stuff, but I don't have to. The point is if all of a sudden you're kind of panicking and going, well, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do over this. The nice thing is, and I always call this chord chasing, but the nice thing is that if you have some sort of little shortcut like this, it can get you through the situation until you have more time to figure out what you're going to do, you know, develop a plan, more learning, more understanding, whatever it is. So no matter what chord, even if the chords don't fit in the key, like let's say you're going from E to D to C sharp. You know, you've got a C sharp sitting here and a C sharp here. So you've got that membrane sitting right in between there that you can always use as needed. Okay? So hopefully that helps you a little bit, gives you something to work on for this week. And again, understand that at the very basic level, you can learn how to just do this, but you can always expand it depending on how your practice is going, okay? Let me just scan through these, see who else we have here. All right, we have lots of different people. Rich is here, Farton is here, Batman is here. Hey, Batman's here. That's always good. So hopefully this helps you a little bit, gives you some different ideas of some things to work on. And so most importantly, stay positive, keep practicing. Remember, you can always head over to guitarzoom.com and check out my guitar courses and the membership that we offer, that sort of thing. More importantly, stay positive and keep practicing and stay motivated. That's really important. All right? And hopefully this will help you a little bit. I'll see you again next Monday for another